Hello and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at this Lenovo Z50-75 dual graphics laptop from about 2013-2014. Okay, so it's made of plastic, got the Lenovo logo there on the side. We have a power input, a vent, VGA port, Ethernet, so it's one of those flappy Ethernet, so you pull down and then you can put it in. HDMI, two USB ports, DVD drive, Kensington lock, USB port, SD card and headphone jack. On the inside, if you open it, you've got a full keyboard with a numpad, two touchpad buttons separate from the touchpad, power button, and that's about it. There's some speakers down here, and it runs on AMD A10, so it's not the fastest, but what really matters is that that's an APU, and then it runs in Crossfire with a dedicated graphics card, which has 1 GB of video memory. It's an R6 233M with the A10 acting alongside it to do dual graphics. So first let's turn it on. I'm going to get the plug it in because we want to be sure we get the most out of it. And because I'm on the bed, I'm going to use this other HP laptop and put that underneath. There will be a video coming along with this soon, or in the past, depending on when you're watching it and when I put up the videos. So let's put that, making sure it doesn't suffocate. I put Windows 11 on it. It might not be completely fair since this is technically not supported by Windows 11, but I'm doing it anyway. I use Rufus and to install it on unsupported hardware. So let's do pass smart performance test. The thing you should really keep an eye on with this is graphics, because this has dual graphics, and it's not just singular graphics. It's like those HP laptops that I saw in that video. I'll put a link to it up in the corner. Up there. But this is a Lenovo rather than a HP laptop. 360 frames per second. I'm going to click run benchmark. Yes, I want to continue. Okay, so it got a score of 200.9. Okay, so it got a score of 200. Right down there in the red. Got a CPU score of 1931. Got a 2D score of 14. I think it's because it only takes advantage of the integrated graphics when it's doing 2D. So I think that's, but 3D, almost out of the red. 773. I think 3D actually went quite well. If you looked at it, it actually got a couple of FPS, got like 20 FPS with DX12. Memory, it got 852. Disk, yes, it's still got the original hard disk in it, but strangely it isn't completely slow. I think it's because it's got 16 gigs of memory, so it can cache everything. It does take a long time to boot up though. It's not even full volume. Okay, those speakers were quite good. Quite a lot of bass, and you could hear all the little details. Probably didn't come along on camera because it's just the microphone on the camera, so probably didn't come along there. But if you could hear it, you probably understand. Now let's talk about the keyboard and trackpad. The keyboard is pretty good because it's a Lenovo, and they have ThinkPads. It's basically the same keyboard as a ThinkPad, but this keyboard is effectively the same as the ThinkPad, thus being exceptionally good. And the trackpad is usable, but it's a bit small, and it's got dedicated buttons, which means that you can't just press on the trackpad. You have to move your finger every single time. No track point, because those are reserved for ThinkPads. But apart from that, it's been perfectly snappy on Windows 11, even with a hard disk. Open up a couple of apps. But it's opening Task Manager. A10-7300. It's got an R6 M255 and a R6 integrated graphics. It's got 16 gigs of memory. So it's actually quite a good laptop. Close out of here then. The screen is 1366 by 768, which is perfectly acceptable because it's quite a small screen. It's only 15 inches, so you don't really see pixels. I prefer it to be 1080p, but it's still okay, and the colours are relatively okay, but it is a glossy finish, which means that you get a lot of reflection. And strangely enough, although this laptop is like 5 or 6 years old, its battery is still in tip-top health. So let's do a battery test. It says a 44 watt-hour battery, and we're going to time lapse it and see how long it will last. Three, 2, 1, go. Okay, so I've done the battery test. So Okay, so I've done the battery test, and for some reason the time lapse didn't work. I recorded it, and it just didn't save. It said this video cannot be played. So let's just look at the thing in here instead. Oh, okay, so it's actually, no, I got it wrong. It has a 30 watt-hour battery. 2 hours and 49 minutes. So that's pretty good actually, considering it was playing a HD 60 FPS YouTube video. Okay, so that was my review of the Lenovo Z50-75.